If I know at the end of the day I didn't do something and someone's making some shit up, I'm going to come out and defend myself.
Stop, won't stop, baby.
Rockefeller Records.
Live from Atlanta. We're in Atlanta. Live. What's going on?
I'm not holding it. It's stuck to my hand. What?
Because he peeled out the label.
You stop masturbating, and maybe you would be able to.
No free brand deals. It's true, guys. Here we are, live from Atlanta. Welcome back to Impaulsive, the #1 podcast in the world. Everyone knows that's a statistical fact. Why would I be lying about something like that? Hit that subscribe button. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. This is I believe it's our third or fourth remote podcast. We've shipped in damn near the entire team here to Atlanta, Georgia, because as you guys know, my brother is fighting on Triller this Saturday, April 17th, against a guy named Ben Askren, who we had on the podcast. It popped off. People seem to really enjoy the episode.
It's because I put him in that chokehold, fucked him up a little bit.
That was crazy.
I had to give him a little reality check. You can't be walking around like a tough guy.
Sure, you've affected him zero. He doesn't give a about you, me, Mike, Jake, anyone. He's impenetrable, bulletproof, you could say. But yeah, we've shipped the whole team down here to Atlanta. My friend George, my now business partner Mike.
Hey, we're about to switch seats. Come over here.
You love
It's been
to see
so
it.
dramatic.
I'm dramatic.
He's been so dramatic. I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, "Come on, man. When are you gonna give this up, dude? I mean, we've been at odds. You haven't invited me traveling. You're going to your brother's fight. Got a seat for me. It was always, hey, Mike, I got an extra ticket. And now it's like, yo,
What are you gonna do tomorrow?
we got like, what are you up to? And he's like, well, this isn't a friendship anymore. This is a business arrangement. And I was like, God dang, yo, you're such a dramatic little bitch.
It's a working relationship. Nothing more, nothing less.
Hey,
Hey.
same thing I told Jeff Wittick. Why don't you take those shades off, man?
Ooh.
It's just the glare, and it's hard. I can't get eye contact with you.
Sure. You're making good points, Mark. You're making real good points.
Now I can start taking hella shots at him now because it's a business relationship.
No, so look, man. I was in Tampa, and I believe this is how I look. I got conjunctivitis. I'll just say it.
Oh my God, we haven't been on the Impulsive since
So
Tampa.
long.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Yeah,
Greatest times.
we're gonna get into it. Who would have guessed? Tampa.
Who would have guessed?
The greatest city on earth.
Remember that time in Tampa?
Yeah, that I got pink eye. So yeah, pink eye, conjunctivitis. I got it in this eye, and also, I'm like at this point a little notorious for getting pink eye. I have fans come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you got it again?" Like even they know that I just am really susceptible.
Stop eating ass.
I can't. I can't.
Is that what it was this time?
When you see an ass, just don't eat it.
Yeah,
That's exactly how you stop getting pink eye.
eating ass. No, I know. I have yet to eat a butt ever.
Dude, relax. I can't even tie my shoes around you. You're a liar.
No, he doesn't.
I have yet to eat one butt.
doesn't.
I don't know if I ever will. It's one of those things.
Really?
I don't. I'll do it once. I'll eat a butt. I'll eat a butt. Sure.
You
But
just got to
that's-
make sure it's. You just got to make sure it's like properly prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just go out on like a sweaty line dancing night in Nashville or Tuscaloosa
Or
you know
on
what
a
I'm
Taco
saying?
Tuesday.
Or on
Never
a Taco
do
Tuesday.
a Taco
That's what I'm saying.
Tuesday.
Like Taco Tuesday, you're like, hey, you want to go out to the local line dancing spot, and then you get back to the house, things start getting rough and rowdy.
Sure.
You can't eat that butt, dude.
Who's talking during the #1 podcast in the world?
I was walking around with wine.
Bro,
and
I
just
will
chat.
stun her.
Is that
I
was
will
that
stun
Pam?
someone
Is that
right
who it
now.
was? Was it Pam?
My mom? Mom, I will hit you with the stunner right now.
She's on the other side.
Right now. Yeah, so if you saw WWE, speaking of stunners, I wore these shades during my my little stint I had, and I didn't want to be that guy, and even now I don't want to be that guy that wears sunglasses inside. Like I'm that guy, unfortunately, because I'm disgusting.
Oh, that's.
Well, because, dude, it was in one eye, and the doctor's like, be careful, wash your hands. It'll hop to your other eye. And I'm like, I'm 7 days in. Surely this is on its way out next morning. Hop to my other eye. So it's actually gotten slightly better.
Yeah, it's. You can look at this now.
Look at me for a sec. Jesus Christ.
I have screenshots.
Yeah, it looks much better, man.
when he FaceTimed me. It is so gross.
Horrid.
It's gross.
Horrendous, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, everyone knows it's from, like,
Eating booty.
yeah. So Milton, when I fought the Gronkowski brothers in Tampa, in between rounds, he took his T-shirt, because I told him to, and, like, kind of fingered my eye, and we have it on video. Hayden's like, this is definitely how you got pink eye. When he was editing the video, he sent me this still. So I think that's how I got it. But it's all good. You guys can make fun of me in the comments below. Whatever.
Are we doing other episodes? So me and George and the rest of the squad flew down here because I figured we are gonna bag up some eps. Is this the only episode we're shooting?
No, I mean it depends, like who we have for guests, subject matter, and any extra content we have. I mean, look, it's a big weekend. It's a big weekend. Jake made a comment. He's like, "Yo, this is the biggest. It's the biggest day of my life," and he's right. And so I wanted to get an episode in with him, especially because he's got a lot going on recently this week that I kind of wanted to address. And I think we just bring him on. So we're at Jake Paul's house here, his Airbnb in Atlanta. It's a beautiful crib. If he's in the facility, could we welcome on little brother Jakey to the podcast? There he is. Here's
6'1", weighing in at 205 pounds. Jake, the problem child, Paul.
Is that really your weight
Is
right
that
now?
even close?
I'm weighing 192 for the fight.
But 6'1", right?
6'1",
Oh,
yeah.
all right. Well, I got one right.
we discovered this. So I'm the big brother, but Jake is the bigger brother.
I weigh more.
He got wide.
Well,
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
I naturally weigh like 205, 208 sometimes. Sometimes I'll step on the scale, it'll say 210
Thick.
at night.
Yeah, you are thick.
So look, man, you did it. Yet another training camp down, and I think a lot of people don't understand what a true training camp looks like. And now that you've really just inundated yourself in this fight world, and you're on this is 4?
Yeah, this is the 4th Team Problem Child training camp that has been completed.
And are you happy it's over?
Yes, to say the least. It's been exhausting, but that's how training camps are, and you have to push yourself to the limits every single time. And I'm learning to love it more, and it's honestly becoming easier. I think each training camp gets a little bit easier because you understand what you're going into and you prepare yourself. And it's been good, and I'm ready. And now it's time for the show, the fun part, and you reap the benefits of all of that hard work because you're grinding every single day in the dark, by yourself. It's lonely. Training camp's a very lonely place, and you're seeing all your friends have fun, and you have to stay focused and stay dedicated. And I'm ready. I'm ready to do this thing and eliminate my opponent.
What was different about this camp?
I think the repetition of coming right off of the Nate Robinson knockout, I really never stopped working out. 5 days after the fight, I was back to jogging 5 miles, 6 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, shadow boxing. And so this camp, I think, flew by because we never stopped training, and it's become second nature. And being in Miami was obviously a little bit different. I've been in Big Bear, Manchester, or London, in Los Angeles doing a training camp, Vegas doing a training camp. So Miami was a whole new different environment, and it was honestly awesome. But there was just more motivation, like more hunger, more work ethic, and just everyone being on point every single day because we knew going into this is going to be my toughest challenge. And so we all had to elevate another level. There's going to be more people watching, and we're rising to the occasion.
Can we shut that fucking bird up?
Well, hold on. It takes a lot for you to say that. You own a bird. That's way worse. You don't. He's at the house. You're not.
I miss him
I
so
hear
much.
him every day. He says, "Hi, sir. I love you.
I know.
I love you, sir.
I know. It's
Hey, buddy." He
'cause I
goes,
said-
"Hey, buddy.
That's what I say to him.
I love you."
Yo, someone could snipe the pelican.
No, but I kind of like the ambiance it brings.
Okay.
I think it presents another cool parts of the remote set.
Sure. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, people can listen like it's the Calm app.
Exactly.
Just
I
they can
have
meditate.
subscribed to that, by the way.
Quiet for 1 sec.
There's some meditation music
That's
for you.
nice. That's nice.
Welcome back.
So you're gonna beat
to
his
your daily
ass, right?
calm. I'm Tamara Levitt.
Are you going to try to take him out on the first round, second round? Are you gonna have fun with it? What's your plans?
I am not gonna try to take him out. That's when you try to knock someone out, it doesn't happen. And so for me, I'm just gonna be patient. I believe in my power, and I believe that the fight will end early. But if it doesn't, we're prepared for anything. We trained for 8 rounds, and Ben Askren's tough. He's been in there with killers, legitimate killers. And
Wait, like, is
some
that
of
a fact?
not actually convicted murders,
Right.
but
it's possible.
well, we don't know.
It's possible.
But really high level guys. I mean, Robbie Lawler. That's what everyone says. Is like, well, if Robbie Lawler couldn't knock him out, then Jake Paul can't knock him out. And we'll see. I think that's why this is such an interesting fight. Is because we're gonna see.
Yeah. So we had him on our podcast, as you know, and Ben does have a chin. And a head,
as most humans do.
A head, not all.
I don't really have much of a chin.
Some don't. But Ben's head is abnormally large,
massive.
I noticed. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow. I wish my head was that big.
Got quite the brain in it.
But he looked like a Pez. Like I thought he was gonna dispense candy. When he was next to him, he was like talking. I was like,
hey George, where was that energy when you were sitting next to him?
Yeah,
when you headlock, bro.
When you said you wanted to play disc golf with him and said you weren't my friend anymore, and said you weren't my friend anymore.
Who said I wasn't your friend? I have DMs between us. But the one question that I really wanted to ask you is the past two fights kind of weren't really at your level. Do you feel like are you gonna be able to go those rounds with him? Do you think your stamina is going to be...
Stamina!
Yeah, my stamina.
Stamina.
I'll just continue saying stamina.
I had a Chucky Finster moment there. Used to call them aminals.
My stamina is
Thank you.
on point. I believe, Ben Askren will get tired before Jake Paul does going into the later rounds. Everyone loves to talk about his cardio and all this stuff, but, he's coming off of retirement, hip surgery. And again, I've pushed myself every single day in practice, sparring multiple guys for 8-9 rounds. And I'm prepared. I'm prepared to go into deep waters. And if it goes there, I just think it's more time for me to show my boxing ability.
Yeah, because you never really got to do that yet.
When Ben came on our podcast, he said he had a genius level IQ of 160. 1,000% that's bullshit.
That's not true.
But
that's so high.
He's definitely very, very smart.
Yeah.
And it couldn't even be considered a genius. I realized that after the podcast aired. And just even the way he's branding himself and taking advantage of this opportunity. Jake, you made him so famous.
Yeah.
And I got to give kudos to him, too, because he, really took advantage of it. And the way he's playing his role in this fight is damn near perfect. And I wonder how much of it is calculated and strategic, and my guess is probably most of it. And so when you watch his sparring videos from a month, 2 months ago, and he looks ridiculous, right? Like Mike told him he looks when he punches like he's punching in a dream, and he does. He looks absurd. But I noticed today in his open workouts,
he did look
his
a little.
punches were a little
quicker. Was he holding back?
Those videos are fake, bro. He's posting fake videos.
My God.
To mislead Jake?
It doesn't matter because if you are thinking that you posting some bad sparring footage is going to alter my training or make me take days off, then you are mistaken. So you're just wasting your own time, my friend, because I'm training like I'm fighting Godzilla. And every single day I'm still going to show up and I'm prepared for whatever he brings to the ring. But I do think it's interesting, and I saw the same exact thing. So it is pretty funny. And like you said, man, he's doing numbers. He is Ben Askren is pulling numbers, bro. And he's playing it smart. And kudos to him. And I think you will see this. Like these people who I fight will become famous because there's so many people who hate Jake Paul and and are siding with him, and they want to make him the guy that ends this whole entire YouTube celebrity boxing thing. They want to see it come to an end, of course. And so he has this whole army of people rallying behind him, and he's playing it smart, and his content's been great, and he's selling the damn fight. And that's why the April 17th, thefightclub.com is going to be it's going to be a movie.
It's going to be nutty.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. We've been talking about that strategic direction of how he's kind of come at you and taken this really humble, everyday man's route, which I've been texting you about it. It presents such a clear obstacle for you because it is the exact polar opposite of your attack style. How much of it, to piggyback off Logan's question, how much of it do you think is an act, and how much of it do you think is really him just being the most humble Wisconsin lumberjack in the history of the sport?
I think he's very much being himself. He's just a regular guy being a fighter and showing up and talking shit. And I think he is a decently good trash talker and has good comebacks and has been doing this his whole entire life, from wrestling to the one championships to Bellator, UFC. He's been talking shit, press conferences. This isn't new to him. He's an experienced guy. And I think people underestimate that because he came into the UFC and sort of had a up and down, wishy-washy, controversial career. And so I don't think people have given him enough credit, to be honest.
Did any of that surprise you? Like in the press conference, was he better at trash talking than you expected?
No. So I was talking to Mike before the podcast, and on stage, I'm sitting there like, this guy's an idiot. Like, I'm shitting on him. He's not giving me anything to work with here in this press conference. And I've personally felt between our energies that he felt defeated, which is why in the face-off, I believe he tried to hit me in the face because he felt like he lost. And then I come off stage, and a bunch of the comments are like, Jake Paul lost that press conference. Ben Askren made him look like an idiot. And there's all these videos that come out about my body language and like
those are the funniest
so
things.
ridiculous.
I'm like, bro, you guys are stupid. Like,
Body language experts reads Jake Paul versus Ben
like,
Askren.
How do you become a body like you're a stalker?
No. The
No,
people
it's
actually
became
exist.
an
It's a
expert
real.
it's a
no,
like
it's
if
a
I
real
sit like
practice.
this,
It's a
doesn't mean
practice.
I'm They were like, because Jake touched his knee when he said that. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, but Ben Askren is not in my fucking head.
Yeah.
And by the way, quite the opposite. We go upstairs, and this is just my opinion, right? I can fuck off. And all the time, people don't agree with my opinion. I think that's who
The
I'll
problem.
just- a lot of times I should probably just shut the fuck up, but
Hey, you and
we're
me
on a
both.
podcast.
Me and you both, buddy.
Yeah.
But this is also
we'll get into that later.
This is a good podcast or a great place to say bad shit. Dude, right?
So we go up to do this face to face. You know how they do, like you and KSI did a face to face. Me and Deji did a face to face. Me and Gib do a face to face, sitting at a table. Snoop Dogg's hosting it, and and D-Cut was there, and my security, and the guy was so defeated. He just didn't have any energy, didn't have any confidence, and I told him, it's on camera. I believe this will come out at the same time as this podcast, but I told him, I was like, Ben, if you beat me, I will pay you double your purse. If you beat me, I will pay you double your purse. But if you lose, you have to donate your whole entire purse to a charity of my choosing. And that question silenced him. He shut up. He crunched up. Sort of went silent, and his whole attitude and demeanor changed. And so there is where I saw the defeat in his character, and I just don't think he's confident in himself.
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
go.
gonna say it was funny because like I know you, right? You're my brother. I've known you for some time now, probably even your whole life. Even.
Yeah, probably.
And after the podcast, like Ma texted me. She's like, "How did you think it went?"
The press conference? You
Yeah,
mean?
the press. What I
You
said.
said podcast.
Sorry,
Stupid.
I
Stamina.
early on to
Stamina.
CTE.
Stamina.
After the press conference, I thought nothing of it. Besides the push, I was like, oh, that was like the one thing. But I also felt like Ben looked defeated and very upset when you were chirping at him, and that you didn't give a fuck. But it was so, and I know it didn't. And I even had to tell Mom, I'm like, Jake doesn't care. Ben's not in his head. But the internet,
They
felt
like to
felt
just
the
talk.
opposite. The internet really felt like he had disheveled you.
And so me and my friends were trying to figure it out afterwards. Like, how could someone think this? And at the end of the day, we're just like, guys, why do we care? This is all entertainment. This is entertainment at the end of the day. And if the people aren't talking, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
There's also a massive discrepancy between how things are experienced in a real life setting versus how they're digested online. And so like we'll have podcasts sometimes where we'll have a certain vibe and we all feel a certain way about the episode, and I'll have a great rapport with the guest, and so will you, and all these things happen. And then once it gets to online, the experience is dramatically different. Then you roll in another layer of something called groupthink. 10 out of the 100 people that watched the episode said Jake lost.
Yeah.
People want to get on that fucking gravy train. You know what I'm saying? And so trying to crowdsource actionable intelligence in the comments sections of fucking YouTube videos is one of the most futile exercises on the fucking planet, dude. you're not going to get anything. It's just a bunch of people exercising their opinionated viewpoints to drive some sort of reaction. That's all it is. So you walked out of that knowing what you know about what happened there, and that's all that matters. And April 17th. That's all that matters. Is that the right date? Did I say
April
that right?
17th. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This Saturday.
Great. Do you get what I'm saying about
No,
that?
no, you're 100% right, and that's why I just don't pay any mind to it really, and just don't like it.
But the head push.
So this, again, let's further the conversation. I look and everyone's like, Daniel Cormier was like, oh, I just saw how Jake reacted to Ben smushing him in the face. He's gonna lose for sure now. I'm like, just like you were gonna beat Stipe. but how can someone register who's gonna win a fight based off of him trying to push me in the head? First of all, he was so slow. I didn't know it's coming. It comes at my face. His pinky nicks my cheekbone. I grab his arm, and I make the split-second decision. Do I come around this guy's shoulder and knock him the fuck out right now? Or do I not give him any excuses to say, oh, he knocked me out at the press conference, that's why I lost the fight? Or, oh, he knocked me out at the press conference, I can't do the fight. Am I going to forfeit this payday and knock this guy out right now, or just give him like a smack in the side?
There was a lot of talk.
It's a quick smack though.
That was the thing
was
I
quick.
picked
Your
up
hand
on
was
was the
moving fast.
reaction
I
time.
blinked and I just heard. Whoosh. I was like, "What the fuck?" I had to rewind it. It was quick.
But that's what I'm saying is like, I was like, whoa, boom, block his arm, smack him in the stomach. But I was like, I'm not gonna punch this guy right now. This is not good etiquette. And a lot of fighters know it's generally a rule to not hit each other in the face off. Maybe a little shove or two, but going for the face, like. But I'm not gonna risk the payday, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for. So I'm not gonna knock this guy out at the press conference and be like, yeah, I beat him up at the press conference. Everyone will have an excuse no matter what I did or how I reacted into that situation. But I will say the next 20 so days of training, you know, my teammates were like, remember he hit you in the face.
Ooh.
Remember he hit you in the face. So
I
use
even
it as
told
motivation.
you.
And you told me that too.
Yeah.
You're like, don't take that lightly. And I was like, I use it as motivation.
So I got a question, brother to brother, Logan, Jake. We're in Ohio, okay? Forget about the cameras.
Okay.
This is me and you, baby.
Yep.
Me and you right
Yep,
here. So Kale Sonnen, he got a podcast. He does a lot of like fight breakdowns and reviews. Pretty articulate, smart guy.
Smart guy. I
him.
actually like his
him a
show.
lot.
I like
It's
what he has to say
fantastic.
about the lead up to this fight. I love the way he talks.
I
He
know.
has such an interesting
I know.
dialect.
I find myself watching his videos.
He's lit. He's lit.
I feel like, side note, I feel like he's definitely the kind of guy who could talk to a fucking wall for like an hour, and you're like, yo, man, you've been
Bro, he
talking.
carries that show by himself,
himself.
without messing up any word.
I know.
And we watched him growing up.
I know,
Yeah.
fighting. That's why
Yeah.
I'm a fan. And he said, of his many like reviews of you versus Ben, he said, you know, I when I say this, I know like my audience doesn't like it, but the Paul brothers are legit tough guys, which
Yeah.
I thought was awesome. I'm like, all right.
No, I
like,
saw
that's
that clip too.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good compliment. And I also know you, and you are a tough guy. And you've always been a tough guy. You are literally the problem child. Before you even started social media, I don't know how many people know this. Jake wanted to be a Navy fucking SEAL. Like, this guy's a tough guy. He's not. Don't let the Disney Channel flow fool you. But the question is this: I still feel like, especially during this press conference with Ben, I feel like you're playing tough guy instead of being tough guy,
Yeah.
which you are. Do you feel that at all?
No, for sure. I definitely was very critical of my press conference performance, and I think in a weird way, this past like 3 weeks of my life, I think has been one of the most important 3 weeks of my life. Someone's gonna comment that and be like, Jake Paul, quote Jake Paul. But the past 3 weeks of my life have changed me as an individual, honestly. In a very weird way, and I was very critical of my press conference performance. And you're sort of right. I think I just need to be myself more and
You-
just like
you do.
not give a fuck.
You do. Well,
But I did
not-
want to fight him right there. Like
Not-
he was like, if I saw you in an alley,
say he said he would commit a homicide.
he would commit homicide. I'm
Dude,
like, bro.
you should have told him about the jail time that comes with that. Like that's no like little thing there. So Yeah, and I know you, bro, and I think like everyone who knows you is like, yo, in real life, Jake's likable. Like this is you're one of those people that you see online and then you meet in real life. You're like, well, those are not the same fucking people.
Yeah.
So I think eventually, man, and we saw a glimpse of this after you knocked out Nate Robinson in your post-fight interview, where everyone's like, that was great. Wow.
Yeah.
Standout young man. Fucking humbled, like excited to watch him fight next. And then the next week, you're calling Conor McGregor an Irish cunt.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering.
So sorry to cut you off.
No,
but-
I'm sorry to be cutting you cutting me off.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. I didn't even get involved for once with the cutoffs. All right.
So I saw a comment on one of the documentary posts that I did for the Triller docuseries lead up to the fight, and a bunch of people hit me up and were like, bro, that piece of content, you texted me, you're like, that piece of content was amazing.
Yeah.
One of the top comments was like, man, if Jake just talked like this all the time, he would have so many more fans, ... But he also wouldn't be as wealthy.
Do you find that to be true?
Yeah,
Because I wouldn't be ruffling as many feathers. Like think of I've purposely pitted the MMA community against me for this fight just so they will tune in and watch it.
Smart. So
And I
you're
think-
after the bag, not the fans.
Look at how much uproar. Yeah, I mean, yeah, both. I think both, but I have those fans. I have the fans.
So you'd rather
They're
be
just-
known for what you want to do, let alone be like, oh, I'm just gonna do this to be a crowd pleaser.
I think marketing is a game.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a great
No,
job.
you're
We're all
right. Oh
talking
yeah, you're
about
crushing it.
Yo, life is a game. This whole shit is.
We're on a
fucking
spinning
simulation
roller.
But
that
that's
makes
what
no
I'm saying
sense.
You still have
is
pink eye.
that's why I went specifically after the MMA community so hard and fought an MMA fighter, because now they all fucking hate me and now they're all gonna root for Ben and tune in and buy the fight and look at the results. And then afterwards, no one's gonna talk about this podcast or any of that. And that's the way it goes. And
That's just the
you know,
way it is.
I don't like necessarily pissing people off, but it's a business at the end of the day. And people have made me the villain, right? People have put me into that corner, and
Well, I think
it's
you've
an
done a
uphill
decent
battle.
amount. I think if you've done a decent amount of doing it yours, Jake.
I agree, but it's like
We talked about this before the show a little bit, and I think right now it's working very well. You're the face of Fight Club for Triller. Everybody's talking about it. There's not another boxing event or boxer, maybe with the exception of him, and you guys are about the same level, that is getting as much discussion as you guys are right now. You're doing a great job of it, right? But we went through this exercise with your brother a little bit. There was the very, very, very likable off-camera Logan Paul, and then there was an extremely over-the-top, douchey 2017, ayo, Logan wants like anything for views Logan Paul.
yeah.
And over the course of 4 years,
You
I want to finish this thought because it's important. Stop with the dramatics.
I can't
Over-
concentrate. Could you put your glasses on, please?
Over the past 4 years, what has happened is you've seen those two roads converge into a much closer on and off camera persona. And so people say, "Oh, I watch Logan on the podcast," and then when I see him on the vlogs, he's much closer to what he is on the podcast, and so we get a better idea of what Logan Paul really is. And I know you off camera, and you're not a prying fucking asshole. You're not a over the top shit talking, sociopath or whatever people call it. I don't know what the words are, bully, whatever. You love your mom, you love your family. You're very focused on what you want to be in life. And so my curiosity is, when will what clicked for your brother start to click for you, and you'll start to see those? Because I know it will happen.
I think it, like I said, I think it sort of clicked for me in this past 3 weeks because of a couple of situations that took place, and I also think it's something that you sort of have to shake off. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's sort of something that you have to come to a realization of, and I'm figuring it out as I go, because my whole life I've grown up on camera, and so I'm constantly changing. Who am I? What do I want to be? What's my brand? What am I doing? It's not an easy thing to figure out, especially through these monumental years of like going from 17 to 24.
Most important years of your life.
And I think
literally.
that change sort of took place around this exact age with Logan. And yeah, like I don't know. I'm getting there. And I want people to see the real me, and I want to be as authentic as possible. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. We're also in the fight business, right? Like, I'm a fighter.
And in the entertainment
So I think
business.
people will always sort of have this hatred towards me because of the confidence I have in myself. So, like, when I'm shit talking, I actually believe what I'm saying. Maybe I could be like, hey, yeah, I think I'm going to knock him out in 2 rounds, and you look like a middle-aged Dutch woman, and Masvidal beat you. And I'm going to call Masvidal, hey, Masvidal, yeah. Yeah.
You said it was
I'm
his
gonna
dad.
beat you.
You said, "Oh, your dad's calling."
Like, yeah, like all your dads. Like no one would really watch that, would they? Like if I was just like, I don't know.
With 2 of the same kind of over humble people kind of sitting in the same place at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
like,
I respect you. I really think you're a great fighter. I love what you
Yeah.
did in the sport. And the other person says,
Hey,
you know,
I'm
you're
with.
great
Hey, I'm
too.
with it.
Exactly.
You got to sell the fucking.
So when
yeah.
McGregor and Poirier were going up to their lead up, I watched the press conference, and I'm like, this is lame. This is boring as fuck. They're like, he's a great fighter, and this time around it's gonna be awesome, and I have respect for him, and I'm gonna buy your hot sauce, and I'm gonna buy your whiskey. I'm like, bro, shut the. No one cares. I'm like, bro, this is not what people want to see.
Right.
And so if I have to be the villain and like piss some people off,
It's fun. It's funny. I can
who-
see that marketer in you ticking.
who is the highest paid boxer of all time?
Floyd Money Mayweather.
And who is the most hated boxer of all time?
He's one of them for sure.
People didn't watch Floyd at the end of his career to see him win. They watched to see him lose.
So check this out. It's funny you say that
point.
because the brand guy in me, the marketer, the one who wants to sell the fight, the entertainer, the showman, is considering what you've already considered, right? How do I act in these press conferences? What role should I play, if you will, to sell the fight? And in the past with KSI, it was super loud, eccentric, over the top.
Yeah, you fucking wore a turtleneck and shaved your mustache, and we're doing like a whole Shakespearean play on fucking stage.
Yeah.
And how old were you? About 24.
Yeah, but-
and I think then you were like, "Fuck it."
No, but
I'm
I
not
told him
doing
I would
this shit
slap him in the
anymore.
face with a fish. Like,
Yeah. It was great, and that's why it was a massive fight.
Okay, but wait, listen. You're right, and I've been discerning how and what I'm going to do with Floyd. But since he is the greatest fighter of all time and undefeated, I think this fight I'm going to have the luxury during the press conferences. Don't quote me on this, but just to be myself. Like I plan on going in there just respectfully, humbly, and
The fuck are you gonna do?
but
Show
also-
him
but also-
NFTs and Pokemon cards?
He's
I'm just gonna be myself. Check out this Charizard.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not like I have no interest in going in there and trying to like fucking ruffle Floyd's feathers and like say shit to get under his skin.
'Cause you're scared.
No, I will, but I'm
But
not gonna
it's-
like it. All right, because bro, you got to put some respect in this guy's name. A, first and foremost, and then B, I have grown. I've reached an age where I'm like, okay, I feel like I've proven myself. My work speaks for itself. My hard work will show on the day of the fight, and it's almost like my story has written itself in a way, and I don't know how much of that I need to flaunt when I'm fighting or it's conversing with Floyd.
I agree with that, and I think just circling it back and making it come full circle is, I feel like I need to go on like a 2-week to 3-week like spiritual journey after this fight.
Talking
like,
about drugs now,
awesome.
huh?
No, like just a spiritual journey, like without my phone, and just like take some fucking time to myself.
Ayahuasca?
I've been maybe, but I've been going
Logan.
I've been going nonstop for like 2 years
Pants
straight.
laughing.
You know, like when you go nonstop and all of a sudden you blink and it's like, oh my gosh, and you don't have any time to reflect. I think I need to like reflect and like take some time to myself and
Let
maybe
it soak
come
in.
back. With
Let's
like
go back to Ibiza.
a presence. No, that is not a
That's
place
not
to go on a
the-
spiritual
So
journey.
dumb.
That is called an acid journey.
Whoa, that was crazy.
Greece just announced today that they're going to be reopening the borders for Americans in, like, the
Mykonos.
next,
Mykonos.
in the next month. So it's an option, but
We'll go to Mykonos.
I
All the IG girls are like, thank God I've been so bored.
think
they had to go to Tulum. These poor girls. They just spawn in Tulum suddenly.
I think that point that you brought up is good, though. I think as you continue to prove yourself as a fighter, the necessity or
To
the
talk
need
shit.
to talk shit starts to drop. And then once again, those two paths kind of line up. And
Well,
you
that's
get
what
to-
happened with McGregor in his fight with Poirier, right? Like his body of work spoke for itself, and he did kind of take that laid back role. And also, like, I'm sure, man, he reached an age where he's like, yo, fuck being loud and annoying, and always wanted to pick fights with my opponents. Like, I don't know,
lot of
it
energy.
just gets old.
But like, all right. Let's say I don't call Conor McGregor an Irish cunt. then
in some crazy hypothetical
in
world.
some crazy world, right? Let's look at it. Conor McGregor then doesn't talk about your fight versus Floyd. He doesn't. Media doesn't bring it up to him, and he doesn't talk about directly fighting me. Nate Diaz doesn't jump in and say this kid should shut the fuck up. He's gonna get smacked.
Hey, he's right.
And
he's right.
He is.
And
It's
the
a
whole
world. It's a
MMA
world I
community-
don't
and
understand.
so now I have 5 potential fights in the future. I want to knock out Nate Diaz. Come out of the woodworks. He's talking shit. We're
Ben
going back and
Askren's-
forth on IG stories. Conor McGregor fight became a lot more real.
Yeah.
So
Askren said the same shit when he was poking Masvidal. Bro, these fighters it's all just strategic. Like, they might not mean it, or maybe all of it some of the time, but you got to prod people if you want to get what you want. And if he wants to fight Conor McGregor, is that still on the agenda?
100%. Yeah.
Who are you going to call out after you win?
I don't know. I was thinking about that. I don't think I'm going to call out anyone, to be honest. I think the team has to go back and like really strategize who makes the most sense as a next fight and who actually can maybe A, get out of their UFC contract, or B, actually sign a fight contract to fight me.
We interrupt this program to bring you a word from our sponsors. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm always looking at a screen, which is true now more than ever. And whether you're an avid news watcher or in serious need of a distraction, unplugging yourself is easier said than done. And one of my favorite ways to rest my eyes and still get the content I'm itching for by putting in my Raycon wireless earbuds and listening to something great. Whether you're catching up on your favorite news podcast, bringing an audiobook, or binging, or powering through your workout with a pumped-up playlist, a pair of Raycons in your ears can make all the difference. No dangling wires or stems to get in your way. Raycons come in a range of stylish colorways, but also with a comfortable in-ear fit for a more discreet look. And with enough battery life for 6 hours of playtime, you can unplug for a while. And the best part, Raycon makes great sound accessible to everyone with wireless earbuds starting at half the price of other premium audio brands. They're offering 15% off all products for my listeners, and here's what you got to do to go get it. BuyRaycon.com/Logan. That's it, 15% off your entire Raycon order, so feel free to grab a pair and a spare. That is 15% off. BuyRaycon.com/Logan.
Wow.
Back to the program.
Floyd's been taking some shots at you himself over the past week.
This was weird.
And also
Yeah.
that brings us towards in the direction of another conversation. And so I'm trying to did we come up with a decision as to what we're covering today and what we're not?
Yeah. I think we jump into it, hit it head on. I'm not backing down from some bullshit manufactured, fabricated allegations. I won't do that. These things that people want to make up and say about me, I've been dealing with it my whole life. Preposterous allegations my whole life, honestly. And I hate it. And it sucks. And being in the public spotlight, that's going to happen. It's part of the job. And I think a lot of people in today's society are afraid to talk about it, or they need to talk to their team about what should I say and what do I do? And oh my gosh, everything is gonna I'm gonna be ruined, and people aren't gonna like me, and people are gonna believe this. Like, yeah, all of that might be true, but it's like, if I know at the end of the day I didn't do something, and someone's making some bullshit up, I'm gonna come out and fucking defend myself.
So before the podcast, I asked you if you wanted to talk about it, and originally I said we should leave it off the table just because it is a really, really sensitive subject, because you're dealing with a circumstance where, not with you, but there are legitimate actual victims involved. And you're right, a lot of people in Hollywood entertainment shy away from it, and so I also hate the idea of giving someone attention who lied about someone that I care deeply about in you. And I asked you to your face, I made you swear on Mom's life, my life, and I know you, and I trust you, and I love you and believe you. When you say it's all bullshit and that there is no sexual relationship that took place between you and this woman. And I, like you, tend to stick up for myself when I believe my truth is the truth. Mm-hmm. And I like that you're willing and enthusiastic to come on here and not be afraid to address something that is so absurd, because I think in an era where the Me Too movement is actually legitimate and finally men in power are being held accountable, I think I said this in my Twitter post, I think accountability will be an earmark of our generation. I think it's something we're great at doing. And cancel culture, again, it has its perks. The Me Too movement, of course, like holding men accountable for being disgusting and misusing and abusing their power, I think is really important. And in an era where you have the occasional person come forward who fabricates a story to get attention or do so for whatever reason, I'm not sure if there is anything that is more vile, that is more disgusting, invalidating legitimate victims of abuse and sexual assault. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And so I was willing to put my foot down with you and stand in solidarity because, again, bro, I've seen it. I've seen you and your name be thrashed around and abused and lied upon for the past 2-3 years. And this one is absurd, man. And I hate that it came out in fight week, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like that's
what a
a timing
coincidence.
type of thing.
What a
yeah.
coincidence.
What a
Wow.
coincidence,
The
of
biggest
course.
week of your life.
Of course. You know,
And this was years ago, she claims, yeah?
Well,
yeah.
So this is where it gets tricky because the psyche of sexual assault and rape isn't always immediate,
Yep.
and that's why, as a table full of men talking about an issue like this, it is difficult. But
Optically.
when I look at him in the eyes and he tells me what he tells me about the situation, and that there was no sexual relationship that took place, I believe him, and I'm willing to put my name and stand beside my brother in this specific circumstance because it is bullshit, man. If any girl, and I even talked about it on this podcast before, which is why I feel so strongly about this, man. I went online one day and there was a girl who made an 18-minute video with very specific details about a date that I took her on, and I got aggressive with her and abused her halfway through the date and stormed out. Never met the girl in my life. No idea who she is. Never even had seen her. And that's how I know, like, this is unfortunately happening. And when it hits this close to home, I'm so fucking not cool with it, man. Because, like, again, there are fucking real victims of some serious shit that fucks them up for the rest of their life. And when women cry wolf,
It makes others not look real.
it is the worst, man. It sucks.
I think lying about a situation is as equally evil as doing that situation. So if you have the heart to commit an act like that, is in my eyes equal to committing fake like news about it, because you are watering down. At what point are we just gonna hear a story like this and just be like, well, that's gonna be sad? If we ever get to a point where we hear something like that and be like,
I agree. I agree
Well,
with you.
well,
I agree with you on that. Especially given the climate that we're in. Normally in a climate where it wasn't as polar opposite as believe all victims and and question all stories. I've always fallen somewhere in the middle. Investigate all claims. I'm right in the middle of both of them. Thoroughly investigate all claims and have a decision making and a process around the findings. Okay. But in the climate that we live in, the statement you just made about a claim being almost a false claim being almost as damaging as an actual case is true, because a false claim can quickly become a real claim in today's society because of the internet, because of the culture that we exist in.
So what
And
happened?
so the internet can make a false claim a real thing. Like like it really happened.
So I err on the side of like believing women. Like call me fucking
sure, that's
woke ass bitch,
sure.
but like my knee jerk reaction is to side with the woman.
Sure.
And
I would agree too. I don't want to get into too many of the details, but it's like, and I think if you have been accused of something and you didn't do it and you know that, and you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I did not fucking do this. I've never even had a sexual relationship with this girl by any means, and she's completely making up this whole entire story. Then you need
that
to,
is fucking crazy,
you need
bro.
to go. You need to go back after that person and make sure that you're suing for defamation. There are irreparable damages.
I hope
to
you-
this
I hope you are.
accusation.
I hope you
there
are, by the way.
Irreparable damages to this accusation that will follow me for the rest of my life. And there's already damages, like just behind the scenes shit of how messy things got this whole entire week from that is absurd. And it affects my life for many, many years to come. And I don't take that lightly, and my legal team doesn't take that lightly. And I will not back down from anyone who makes some false bullshit claims about me. I will chase it to the very fucking end and prove my innocence. And again, my character from years from now will show that this person and this individual is completely lying. And it's just fucked up, man. And
you know where
it sucks to be on the receiving end of it. And yeah, it's just bullshit.
you are blessed in that I don't know if they're fans or just people who are following the story, but I think there's a number of people who have started to be able to poke holes.
Her story is awful,
and I'm seeing them.
The fans have debunked it. There's Twitter threads explaining
Yeah.
everything. Like,
How do you have the heart to do that?
it's just
So that's the
morally
go-
it
that's-
doesn't make
that's the
sense.
golden question.
Morally,
How
it
the
doesn't
fuck
make
do
That's
you
the
sense.
have
golden
heart
question.
to do that.
How?
How?
Bro, if I didn't have this happen to me, yo, like I watched this very endearing, like very specific video of some girl make up lies about me spending a day with her for 18 minutes, dude. Like
It's not funny.
like yo,
It's really not
If
funny.
it wasn't me, I would believe it. But I was like, yo, hold on a second.
You start hating yourself
I
and
don't
you're like,
fucking know you. I've never seen you in my life.
It's attention and clout and money.
There has to be some sort of repercussion for this. There
has
absolutely
to
has
be.
to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
for
the
sure.
governor of New York did this with it was fake hate crime calls. Do you remember? Do you
Yeah.
remember this? He made now there's consequences for
if you
falsifying
yep,
a hate related crime.
yeah.
Which
There-
there
there's
has
definitely
to be
there's
something
definitely
like this.
laws around this thing. And by the way, like that ferocious and by the way rightfully and 100% justifiably ferocious group of people that have been rallying around Me Too and including everyone here and believes in that and loves that movement. Those people are equally aggressive towards false fucking accusers.
yep.
I mean, this girl will get, when she is debunked, will get fucking buried by public opinion. Listen, I didn't want to derail this 100%. I know you wanted to talk about it, but I also don't want to fucking kill everything, right? Mayweather, though, did decide
Throw
that this
salt
was,
in the wound.
Right. What do you think
That
about
was
that?
oh, that was so.
weird.
That's
So
a low
weird.
blow. That's such a low blow.
So and remove the comments.
I
Yeah,
think,
what was the-
Why did he do that, Jake?
I think he is still feels personally attacked. I think it's easy to tell that he's one of the most insecure people that there is. I mean, it reaps off of him. You can see his insecurities in the way he moves, the way he acts, how he dresses, how he carries himself. He uses money to, make himself cool. I mean, we don't have to go into all that, but again, it's like he sees someone who is threatening his position in the boxing world and getting hype, and he wants to be attached to it and a part of it. I'm surprised he could even read the article headline.
There it is. There it is.
Well, we don't know how long it took him.
He had all day.
The girl
He had all day.
said, Jake.
But this is a guy who went to jail and is guilty of 13 accusations of assault and abuse of a female. So out of anyone to come out of the woodworks, Floyd Mayweather?
Well, whoever sin not throw the first stone, he's just throwing
You
little pebbles at you.
he's dumb.
I think. Can we sign a
I-
petition
this
to
is
like
crazy.
whoever lies?
He went to jail for beating up his girlfriend or wife, the mother of his kids, and he wants to throw salt in my wound of a false accusation that has no merit.
I think he turned comments off because I don't think the internet was going to be too nuts. I don't think they were going to be too
Because
kind.
why
They were
the
gonna say
fuck-
what he just
why
said.
the fuck?
Correct.
Why the fuck are you doing that, bro?
Yeah.
Just stay
it
off
was
of
so
Instagram.
weird. Jake goes, did you see what Floyd posted? I was like, no. And I was like, what the
Hard post.
Hard post.
Feed post
Right after three posts.
Was such a weird
Hey, at
caption.
least
Right.
fucking pop tag me next time, bro.
right directly following 3 posts about his strip club.
Oh my god.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Father, now I'm
take
never
that
going to
shit
be able
the
to
ring,
fucking
bro.
go there. Now I'm never going to be able to fucking go there.
I'm gonna take that to the ring, dude. That
I don't think anyone goes there. I heard it's about to go bankrupt.
Really?
Yeah.
But before we move on to the subject, is there a way that we could sign a petition or figure out how to get people to vote for this? I think that if anybody does a false accusation of sexual assault, should be like liable for that crime.
I mean, that's what we're saying, but it's not up to us. I hope that something like that takes place. Yeah, I hope there's something put in place.
So they could be at least scared of lying.
No, there has to be.
It's also so hard, dude. Like you're talking about in most cases he said she said shit, and the only reason why I'm erring on the side of Jake is because I know Jake, and like when he looks at me in the eye and tells me something, especially to the severity that I really like pushed him to fucking like tell me what happened, and like I see this guy getting emotional about even his own brother having to question him, which fucking sucks. I go, okay.
We've been talking about boxing a lot, and I want to kind of finalize on or I don't know, move on to the next part of boxing. You and your brother have set a tempo for the influencer and the creator community. I don't believe that I've ever seen something create as much steam in the creator space as this new push for boxing and fighting. It is wild. People are making tons of money. People are getting a shit ton of views simply covering the boxing events right now. You guys have clearly been the trendsetters along with KSI and the guys out in the UK. What do you think about YouTubers versus TikTokers, social gloves event? Do you think that it's below you? Do you think that it's cool? Do you like seeing other people getting involved? What are your thoughts on it, Jake Paul?
I think it's cool. I think it's great for the sport of boxing, and I think a lot of my friends and people that I'm very close with are part of the event and also in charge of the whole entire event. And I support them. I think the thing is like they just need to take it seriously, and I think a lot of them aren't. I think there's still people who are on the card that are out partying. There's still people out at the clubs, and they need to take this sport seriously because what happened to Nate Robinson could very easily happen to one of them, and you can't play boxing. You can't play boxing, but I respect it, and everyone has to start somewhere. When I look at them and their skill levels, I'm like now knowing boxing, I'm like, okay, like you guys have a long way to go, but if they want to do it and get the bag, it's entertainment. And at the end of the day, again, it's bringing more boxing fans and more eyeballs to the sport I love.
I was approached.
Absolutely.
I was approached.
Yeah,
With a
as
solid
was
deal,
I.
though.
As was I.
What'd you just say?
With a solid deal.
Oh my
No,
god.
It was
no,
a
no.
great deal.
And I'd love to talk about all that after.
No.
Let's talk. This is how I know
Because
the deal structure.
I'm in a little bit of hot water from that same episode where I said the shit about you.
What?
So
You should have just never done
I
that
should have
basement.
never done that fucking episode. I should have never done that.
I wish
fucking
somebody would have told you not to do it.
Please, not yet. Can we do this in a minute? Can we do this in a
And
minute?
everyone after you fucked up was like, Jake was right.
I trust me. I saw the fucking comments. I saw
Jake.
You think I didn't see? I saw the comments.
But what did you say about
I said, I was privy to the numbers that came out of Logan Paul KSI 1 and 2. I know what the general revenue was. I know what the fighters were paid. These were the largest global multi-continent boxing events in the history of the YouTube arena. Massive events that got the UK and the US talking. Everybody in the world was talking. I know how many buys there were. So all I said was when I started hearing about some of the bags that were being offered.
They're like, you're gonna be in debt.
So all I
Their
said.
numbers are way off. They think
way
they
off.
think they're selling XYZ. They're not selling that. I'm sorry.
I
They
told
won't
them.
sell. They won't sell a third of what they think.
Hey,
they're
I
gonna
told Austin exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Jeff made a bet with him. Jeff made
Jeff-
a
And
bet.
It's a pretty small bet.
Jeff will win.
Jeff will win the bet.
They projected.
It
They
is-
projected 2.5 million views. I said you won't get 500,000. I guarantee it.
2.5 million pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, not at the $10 Logan Paul KSI price point.
Yeah.
At the $50
Yeah.
social gloves. So all I did was I said that. I just said it. I just said I'm just curious to see how this goes. But I also said I'm rooting for Austin. I like Austin. I think
Love him.
I hope that it succeeds and he makes $1 billion. It got out. And the other day they did a qualifying event with people that
Which
were trying
was
to get
so
in the
much
thing,
fun to watch.
Which
Hey,
yeah, you
and
had a good time at it,
but
right?
wait,
I
all my
wasn't
All
allowed
my
to
friends
go.
were there.
I
All
will
of them.
say they are trying to offer me money still. They're still like trying to bring the bags up to offer me money to fight somebody as the main event.
And
And
do you
if-
find it insulting The bags they're offering you?
No, because I know what I'm worth, and I'm asking what I'm worth.
But surely they're offering you something, and I know it's not a guaranteed fee.
No, I'm the part of the contract is like, let's have the money in escrow.
Yeah, good
luck. Before, but obviously,
luck.
if it's not gonna happen, I'm not even gonna fucking do it. And look, but if I can go in there and fight this guy that they want me to fight, I know who it is. I'm not gonna say.
Who?
It's
We'll beep it out. We'll beep it out.
It's
We'll beep it out.
It's the free money. It's like
Yeah.
it's like picking money up off the ground. Like if the money was right there on the ground, it's the equivalent of that. So I'd walk in, knock the guy out, and get the money. So
do you think the event will happen?
Dude, I don't know. You know how hard these boxing events are to put on. People think it's easy. Basically, what happened is after the Tyson and Jake Paul Triller event, that everyone saw it made $90 million, and everyone and their fucking mom became a boxing promoter that next week. I swear to God.
Yeah, you're right.
I swear to God.
it's
you know
hard.
how many
It's hard.
calls everyone was like, "I'll offer you this. It's this guy. He's the CEO of this. He's doing a fucking fight. He's doing a fucking." No, you're not. No, you're fucking
They
not.
come up to me at BOA sometimes. They go, "Hey, I got $20 million in Dubai for Logan. It's guaranteed." I'm like, "Dude, where are these
20
people
million?
coming from?"
No, exactly. And it's like, bro, you guys have no idea what you're getting into. You have no idea about how to put this event on, how hard it is, the live stream, the piracy. The piracy thing is massive, a massive part of this. It's a lot harder than people think.
So those were the same things that I brought up. And anyways, I guess Austin didn't take too kindly. All I was doing was just asking questions. That's it. Once again,
hold on a second,
I
bro.
want to say that,
fucking God strike me down the day I'm not able to have a conversation.
well, that's
about
all I was
something.
doing. But all I want to end with this, at least for myself. Once
Hard
again,
cut.
I hope.
I
hope
end
it works. I hope it works. I hope drastically that it works,
Here-
and that everyone buys it, and TikTokers, and YouTubers win.
Who do you
Here-
want?
Yeah, who gets Nate Robinson? There's some good fights. There's some good fights.
No one.
And
no
well,
one's- no
this
one's
is
gonna get Nate Robinson.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has enough power to actually do a knockout. To be honest, I think if someone gets a lucky punch, then
won't,
maybe.
yeah.
But they are fighting with 14-ounce gloves, I believe, which is really hard to knock someone out
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
And I think maybe even headgear.
No, I don't. I think
But-
no headgear.
But look, this is what I said, right? And it was the same thing with the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Me and my friends are talking about all these different fights, and at the end of the day, we're sitting on this podcast talking about those fights. So they're winning.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're winning.
But
at
also,
the end of the day.
they're peers, and like I also want the event to do
Exactly.
as
Yeah,
for
good as possible.
Exactly.
I'm gonna buy it for sure. I'll be
100 I'll be watching too.
enthusiastically. We could even watch together. Even maybe.
Let's for sure do that.
Yeah. I just the numbers. The numbers.
They just seem so
it's
large.
just because like when I was pitched, I said, "Hey, like thank you, obviously, thank you. I've done this twice now." Humbly, like been there, done that. I wish you guys the best, but like I everything you said, it's so much harder to throw a boxing event than you'd think. Logistically, it's a fucking nightmare. Promotion is a fucking nightmare, especially when every single person involved has an ego of their own and thinks they're the hottest shit on the planet. That sucks. Which is also why this fight will sell. And if you can get it done, it's fantastic. My prediction, I do not believe it'll happen.
You don't even think it's gonna?
Hot take. I don't think it'll happen.
I think it's gonna happen.
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Yeah.
Say it with us.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer-lasting erections.
Yes.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. The tablets help men achieve harder and stronger erections to combat all forms of ED, erectile dysfunction, of course. It's an online prescription service with no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and they ship right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days, and the best part, it's all done online. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. If you don't like swallowing pills, no problems here. They're made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. Got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code Logan at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's blueshoe.com, promo code Logan to receive your first month free.
They taste great too.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast.
They do have Niall Bread Batch running a lot of the promotions.
He's sharp.
And dude, that kid.
He's
wow.
sharp. We love Niall.
I always shout him out. Great guy.
I hope it does. It's tough.
He likes you more than me.
Why?
I think Niall likes me more than.
Oh
both
no,
of you.
he loves you. It goes you and me. You want to know how I know?
How?
Because we can tackle this right now.
Okay.
It was a rough week for me. The Dick Rider comment was heating up. The internet was upset. I was trying to keep it on the low, real low, because it was just one Instagram comment. No one knew except for 340 low gangsters. Niall picked up on it. He posted a post that said Mike and Logan are beefing over some dick riding. Or alleged dick riding. That actually wasn't dick riding.
Just imagine that was the quote.
It was something like
Logan
that.
and Mike are mad for dick riding.
So I messaged Niall. I go, hey man. I go, yo, hate to ask you to do this, bro, but like I'm really trying to fix this behind the scenes. Like I think Logan, he probably shouldn't have brought this to the mainstream, but he wanted to prove a point, and it turned into a whole thing.
Hold
All
on.
right,
a
hold
second.
on. Let me finish my.
Wait, you brought it to the mainstream, you fucking moron.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just
and
mean
Jake was right.
I just no wait, and we'll touch on that. But I thought at the time that I was saying something just like shooting the shit, whatever, and then it turned into a very major thing. So I hit him up and I was like, if you could just. I mean, no one gives a fuck about me and Logan fighting. Dude, come on, just take the post down. 2 seconds later, it's gone. Right? I'm like, all right, that was easy. I love Niall. We talk.
Niall.
Well, we like to call him Niall.
Yeah.
He all of a sudden so me and Logan are texting back and forth. He goes, meow.
You were like, I love this guy. It's not his name.
No, that's what we call it. That's what we always call
Meow.
it.
That's
Meow.
such an LA thing to do. Love the guy. Niels. Nope, not his name.
George, it's a very serious topic.
I'm so
It's
sorry,
not.
I'm
It's
sorry,
not. So Logan texts me. He goes, and just so you know, I've asked Niall to put the post back on. And I go, now let's see where the loyalty lies. And within 5 seconds, that post was back up.
I said, did you delete that post? He goes, yeah. Mike said you keeping it behind the scenes. I said, you fucking put that shit back. Mike needs to feel the repercussions of the Bread Batch Army.
Bro, how is
Coming for his fucking throat.
the Bread Batch is like one of the most powerful pages on the
it's
internet.
crushing
They'd be
it.
popping.
Crushing it. But we Jakey, me and you talked about this a little bit before. I'll just ask you straight up. You think I'm a selfish? Do you think I'm a selfish clout chaser still? And also parlay it into that comment. And also now this is me putting myself on the cutting board here.
Okay.
We
okay.
talked about this a little
It's
bit
fair,
earlier.
Fair. I'm gonna be very fair here. I'm gonna try to be very fair.
No.
Wait, before you do that,
I-
let me
I
unplug
do-
my mic.
I don't think you mean to be.
But you are.
I think it happens naturally when people start to get, fame, clout, money. You just want more and more and more, and it's a natural thing. I see it happen to fucking everybody. I've seen it happen all the time. Team 10, like, I don't think you mean to be, and I think you have good intentions. But I definitely do think you bit the hand that fed you.
With that comment.
Yes, and I don't think I would be friends with someone if someone in my circle sort of said something like that about me after that.
And I get
but
that.
you guys
Me and
have
him
a very
crazy
weird relationship.
relationship.
It's rocky, all over
He has
the place.
pink eye.
He does have a
But I do
conjunctivitis.
think
Prove it.
I do think you are a hardworking guy who is trying to further your career and expand your audiences and continue to grow. And I think you maybe don't want to feel like Logan helped you become who you are today, because that's natural. It happens to every artist and every influencer that gets brought up underneath someone.
I'm very that's that one part I'll challenge you on, because I'm very clear about that. Logan's the reason I have the platform. He saw something in me and said, yo, this is somebody that I want to be a part of my team, gave me an opportunity. I'm very clear about that any podcast I go on.
Got you.
And I'll say, and I've said that in front of I've said that on that same podcast. You know what I'm saying? We talked about it earlier today. I'm very different. I'm very different than everybody else in the space. I'm 36 years old. I come from a much different place than everybody else that I exist around. And I act very, very differently. I have a loud mouth. I say whatever the fuck comes to my mind. And sometimes that bites me. And on that show, I said something that I thought was funny in the moment. And my business associate wasn't laughing at it.
Yeah, but that's not always an excuse. Like, you can't always just say, like, I have a
Of course
loud
not,
mouth and I just, like, say
I
shit.
apologize, but also at the same time, like, if we were still talking, like, we're talking about it because you're here and I thought it was a fun conversation to have, a fun exercise, but if me and him are still suffering under this fucking weeks later about some fucking stupid comment on a show, that to me seems a little dramatic. After all the shit we've been through, all the things he's ever said to me, yo, can we talk about this? Can we do this? What can we do? How can we do? All the winning we've done, to have one stupid moment where I said something for a rise.
No, check it. I'm gonna get serious for a sec.
I know, it's fine.
As if we're not already. This is serious.
Take the glasses off.
No.
All right, fine.
So, Sasha Banks glasses. Put these in my coffin.
Really? What's the brand?
WWE superstar.
FaZe Banks glasses.
Sasha Banks. I love you, baby girl. You did great.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Here's how I'm gonna get serious. Here's how I'm gonna get serious. All right. So you're right. Like, in an ideal world, and even in this world, which is ideal,
They're playing violence.
like, I got over it. I'm a man. Like, I can get over it. Like, you made a comment that was, a blatant lie, but okay, or whatever. You claim joke.
We were all
Yeah,
laughing.
it's all fun and games, right? Yeah. All right. So,
Before you say, let me just say one last thing on
Mike,
that note.
Mike.
you always
All
say
right,
that.
fine.
You
Oh, no,
always
you're
say
right.
that.
You're right. Go ahead.
Let me just say one last thing.
Sorry.
Nah. So I can get over it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can. But why this one I felt was as serious and impactful to me as it was because I knew my subconscious couldn't. And I felt it for the first time this past weekend when something occurred, we won't say what, that, my knee-jerk reaction was, I want to tell my friends. Like, there's a bro moment. I want to tell my fucking friends, except this is like some top secret information I'd like to stay, tell people in confidence. And I didn't want to tell you.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because your interpretation of my truth is obviously not the truth, and like, that's where I noticed it for the first time. I was like, this is where it's going to affect me. My ability to open up and be fully transparent with you.
I completely see that. We've also been through this before. It took weeks to get over the last time we had this situation. Listen, once again, we are dramatically different people. You have, just to throw it back, taken hundreds of shots that would be considered disrespectful. You brought a lie detector in to ask your friends if they ever thought about fucking my girlfriend. Like,
the difference is none of them were lies on your behalf.
Listen,
in a
all
room
I'm
that wasn't
saying
surrounded
is-
by
all
your
I'm saying-
mortal enemy.
all I'm saying-
You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is this. There's always been jokes that anybody, including myself, could have been hurt by that were always lined with humor. We do I said this to Jake earlier. Me and you, Jake, George, do a fantastic job walking a line between reality and entertainment. That day, I went a little bit too far on the entertainment side. It happens. If you never get over it, it's a burden I'll have to carry with me for the rest of my life. And that's sad. But it happened. I apologized. And that's where we're at. I'm just a very different. You could do that to me 1,000 times, and I would always say, "Damn, that kid knows how to drive viewership." I would. There would be nothing you could fucking
But
say.
you know why I wouldn't do that? Because I don't lie on behalf of my friend's sentiment.
I get it, but
You know what I'm saying?
I really do believe at the time when I cannot believe we're still talking about this, and I know it's my fault because I wanted to bring Jake into it, but. When I said it, I didn't know I was lying. Just making a fucking comment. That was it. Oh no, please!
My
Not
God,
like
he's
this.
bringing
I
his
can't.
WWE
No,
shit.
please.
Oh, he's gonna stunner him.
Oh
What
shit.
is this?
Well, in what context?
Oh, they're shaking hands.
I
I thought it was a stunner.
Why would you say that?
Oh shit, bitch! All right, thanks for watching Impulsive, the #1 episode. I fucked it up.
The #1 episode.
The one time I had Stanima. All right, good luck, Jake.
Here we are.
Yeah, I don't think the episode is over.
Okay.
Is it over?
No, it's not over. No.
I'm sorry.
We're just getting warmed
No,
up.
it's getting started.
No, it's not over.
That was from the feedback we got from your WWE experience. That was probably one of the best first wrestling, like first time in a wrestling situation, stunners that you pulled off. What mine was horrible.
Bad
What?
Bunny beat us both. Did you
What?
see Bad Bunny in the WWE?
Yeah, I did.
Never seen anything like it. One of the best, no, if not the best, the celebrity WWE performance ever. He's a star.
Yours
He's a
was pretty.
star.
Your stunner performance was amazing.
So I had people come up to me in the airport. They go, or anywhere. They, yo, you sold the shit out of that stunner. Wow. I'm like, sold. Like I actually did the like I got fucked up.
You
Like
got
that's
stunner.
it's real. It's real. Like even going there, that was one of the things I realized about the WWE. These motherfuckers go so hard, are literally beating the shit out of their bodies, throwing themselves distances no man should ever travel aerially.
Unless on an airplane.
No, I've never seen anything like it. And yeah, even the one rep made a comment. She's like, yeah, the whole like, oh, it's fake narrative, it has died because people realize like, yo, it's not. Like this is very real and it's a skill set. And I witnessed it with the stunner myself. You know, I as soon as I did it, the ref came over. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. And you know, because it looked real and committed myself to it. And hopefully one day I'll get my revenge on you, Kevin Owens. Ooh,
Yeah, Kevin Owens.
I'm coming for you.
My brother's coming for you.
Listen, let's get serious.
Okay.
Wait, we just did serious.
We're going back.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Are we leaving WWE for total?
I mean, what else do you want? It's kind of cool. It's
Yeah,
kinda,
bro.
It's fucking
No,
I
cool.
that's
was
what I'm
proud of
saying.
you, bro.
Yeah, me
I was
too.
really
Yeah.
proud of you. That
Thank
was
you.
so dope to see, and wow, it was a dream come true just to watch you.
It was awesome. I haven't had that much fun in a while. I remember after the stunner, dude, there was a walk backstage back to my manager. It was probably about a 2.5 minute walk. I was giggling the whole time. I was by myself.
Like on a high.
I was just like, what? That was crazy.
So dope.
That was crazy. Just having so much fun.
And you fit the part.
I
so
know.
Well.
I wore the
With
jacket,
the glasses.
the Maverick jacket. Well, I wore the glasses because the pink eye.
Oh,
Conjunctivitis.
You guys remember we
did they get messed up from the stunner?
No, they flew off though. Like, bro, I did.
I was worried. I was worried when you landed
because I didn't know I was gonna
have-
roll. I didn't know I was gonna roll. I didn't even know he was gonna stunner me.
No, stop.
I didn't know.
Wait,
Yeah,
that was
he was going for the handshake.
I thought he was gonna
Just like
I thought he was gonna be cool with me. He got me good though.
God, dude.
he did get you good.
Do you have any animosity towards him for how he treated you?
A little bit. How can I not? I got embarrassed in front of 25,000 people.
Well, you forgave him.
It wasn't.
It wasn't the first time.
You said it.
I started to say it and then I didn't say it.
What a dick, bro.
With his matrix looking ass. You took both pills. No, I'm sorry. That's messed up.
No, that was good. That was solid.
Yeah, man. Tampa, baby. When in fucking Tampa, who would have guessed, dude? So we were this past 2 weeks have been crazy for me. I don't know if you know this. Tampa, Miami, Tampa, New York, and now I'm in Atlanta with you, headed to Puerto Rico after your fight. But have you been to Tampa, my friend?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been to Tampa.
Why you say it like that?
Because I think I've been to Tampa. I think I have though. Actually,
Tampa's
Yeah,
great,
I have,
man.
actually.
George and I were pleasantly surprised that WWE was nice enough to get us a jet, And when I say get us a jet, they gave us a travel budget, and we used all of it on that wing on a jet.
Nice.
All of it.
Is that why?
Yes.
Couldn't even get an Uber.
A
from the
one-way
airport.
jet.
One way.
You
Spend it all. Spend the
Yeah,
entire
they got
budget.
a massive jet.
Bro,
Dude,
it's
I-
my
birthday. It was my birthday.
Jet there, Spirit Airlines back. real humble home trip.
every Instagram model.
Listen, I do want to get serious, dude.
All right. Oh shit.
You know what I'm gonna say.
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll just say it then. This sucks. Sucks. I want to talk about it, but it's because I think it's important, but it sucks, man.
Yeah, okay. I think I know where you're going.
Came to your house while I was in Miami to do a morning run, and someone mentioned that your personal security guard Shadow was gone. Shadow, who, like his name suggests, always has your back, is always by your side. I even know because when we were in Puerto Rico with him once, I went to the bathroom by myself. It was a long walk. And all of a sudden I look behind me and he's right there. And I didn't ask him to come. And I was like, whoa. Hey, man. Like, I was a little tipsy, right? He goes, this is why they call me Shadow. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, this dude's literally a protector. Like, he has my back. Like, he's watching over me when I least expected or even, like, asked. Just what he does.
Yeah.
And he wasn't present when I came for the jog that morning. And someone made a comment like, hey, guys, let's send our good energy to Shadow. And I felt the vibe was a little off, so I didn't want to ask, like, in front of everyone. But then I asked you, I was like, oh, where's Shadow? And you mentioned that he had passed out working out in the morning. And, didn't think much of it, thought maybe he was going to get taken care of or whatever happened. And then we did our jog, and we were kind of stretching, cooling down. And Jay Leon mentioned that Shadow had passed. And inexplicable and very hard to describe the feeling of hearing that in a moment where all of you guys had been working on this journey to do this one thing for so long. He played such a big part in keeping you safe, literally keeping you safe. And it was so, I still can't fathom that he's gone. It's inexplicable. It's hard to comprehend, and obviously, most importantly, it is incredibly sad. And just wanted to ask how you're doing and what the vibe's been like in the house without him.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been tough, man, and I thought it was gonna get easier to deal with, and in fact, quite the opposite. I think that moment, I was so shocked. We were all so shocked, and we just sat outside for hours, just talking about it. And in that moment, I didn't know what to think. I've never experienced someone that close to me passing away. I mean, we were together every single day, and like you said, he almost became this father figure to me. You know, he was 46 years old, I believe, and he had so much wisdom for me, and we would sort of have these conversations like by ourselves, because he's not the type of guy to just talk, you know, in front of everyone else or voice his opinion where he doesn't think he should voice his opinion. And I would just agree with so much of what he said, and he became this sort of father figure, and I think he developed a love for me that he didn't even expect, and he sort of started to look at me as almost like his son in a way. And he was just so proud of me and how far he had seen me come, and even in the 6 months that we were together every single day with my training and my mindset, my mentality. And even the day before he passed, after the sparring, he came up to me and he's like, man, I just see your mindset, and I just want to say I'm super proud of you, and you are quite literally a warrior, you're a lion right now, and I would take you into battle with me any day of the week. And the fact that he's not here it's surreal to me. I'm not good at like talking about this stuff. I don't really know how to deal with it. But as the days have gone on, it's sort of gotten harder in a weird way. You know, we're watching videos back, and he's in every single video, and his absence, and I've started to just miss him in these random moments. And Shay, who designs my boxing outfit, handed me my shorts this morning for the first time, and then there's a patch there, and it said like "in loving memory" for Shamir, and it like sort of hit me all in that moment of like this fight is for him, and he passed away 10 days before the fight, and he would have loved nothing more than to be there with us and supporting us. And the fact that he's gone, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I was doing an interview earlier, and I started to like tear up and like choke up, because it's like I don't know how to deal with it. I'm still learning. I've never dealt with something like this, and it's in this crazy time, and there's been so much going on, and I just don't know how to handle it. I think everyone's sort of handling it in their own way, but
the sudden nature of it is shocking. It's shocking to the point of like rehabilitation, where I, like you, sort of just freeze up, because like as a person who tries to be logical and rational about everything, in a situation where like this, there is no logic, man. He was healthy. He was he was in. I was with him the night before, and it made no sense.
yeah.
And what's worse is and not to get like too sad, it's like, bro, he had a family. He's got a baby. And so then you start to feel for his wife, who, like, we think we're going through it.
It's 10 times worse for her. And he has a 1-year-old son, Zion.
How do you use that energy and not get completely broken down and forget about the mission at hand?
I think the whole entire team has just, felt his energy, and we're still focused on the task at hand, and that's what Shadow would have wanted. Shadow will be there with me in the ring, quite literally still having my back, and he will want me to go out there and fight my fight and knock this guy the fuck out. And we've had so many conversations about it, and it's almost something that, again, I feel like I haven't even processed it yet. And some days it comes in waves. Like some days I'll just get like hit with that emotion, and like I said, I was like literally just tearing up this morning. Like it all hit me right then in that moment, and I'm still learning how to process it, how to deal with it. And again, there's so much going on that I think it's something that I'll have to like truly reflect on, because right now it's like so much shit is happening, and Shadow just would have wanted me to go out there and fucking knock this guy out, and harnessing that energy, harnessing his warrior spirit to go and get the job done.
Yeah, rest in peace, Shadow. You fucking legend. You warrior, protector. It sucks, man. I'm sorry for your loss. It was very hard to witness that, especially as like not an outsider, but right, I wasn't in the camp. I was a guest, and then you guys let me do the runs with you and stuff, and yeah,
it's
tough.
It's fucked up, and even just sitting like here talking about it, it's like,
sucks.
how are we here? How is this?
Yeah. I hate to end on a note that somber. And it's not the first time that you've had life go ahead and stick a fucking stick in your spokes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks out from your fight. last time you broke your nose meditating. It's like you got these good things happening, and then life's like, nah, I don't think so, and it tries to like level you out.
Are you able to find fuel in it?
Yeah, I have to.
Yep.
I really don't have any other choice. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but
I got it.
yeah,
Use it. You know it.
Yeah.
Just use it. You have
you
have a lot.
it makes the win on Saturday all that much better.
Yep.
That mentality that you're talking about is what separates winners from losers. The mentality to keep going when everything in your path is an obstacle, you know, and to keep fucking trucking and just put your shoulder down and just drive through
Yeah,
it.
well that's been my whole fucking life. So
Well, look, Jake, appreciate you coming to our set here in Encino on our podcast. Or rather, having us set up in your house here in Atlanta, Georgia, on our fucking bougie ass little. I love these remote sets. Fantastic, Dylan. Thanks for working hard,
Yeah.
Caleb. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
out here.
Danny.
Why is Dave here? I love him. I love him. What is he doing here?
I'm paying for Dave.
Okay.
I brought him out. I thought we were gonna shoot. Is he sleeping? Where is he?
Yeah. He's a sleeper.
Oh, God Almighty.
But April 17th, this Saturday. Jake, I wish you the best of luck, brother. I believe in you wholeheartedly. Got a bet going on the Barstool Sportsbook. You're going to get it done in under 3. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hit that subscribe button, guys. And also, that's it, man. That's it. Wait, we about to hit 3 million?
Well, yeah, but it's all for what though? Are we keeping it going or what?
What? All for one and one for all.
No, I said are we keeping the show going or what?
The show will go. The show must go on. No more episodes until we're boycotting. We're boycotting YouTube and doing the thing that doesn't get you subscribers in order to get subscribers.
Not posting.
That's why you manage our social media, Caleb. Jake, any last words before you go off into war, into the Gladiators arena?
Saturday night, I put it all on the line for my friends, my family, for Shadow, and all the hard work will pay off. And no matter what Ben Askren brings to that ring, it will not be enough. And I plan on having a violent KO. And this fight means everything to me. It's the biggest moment of my life. And Saturday, I will be fighting for my life, and I will be fighting with that chip on my shoulder. And all of these things that people want to say about me or make up about me, or all the things that I go through, make me a warrior, an unbreakable warrior. That's why I love fighting. And Saturday, unfortunately for Ben, there's an angry man filled with a lot of emotion, pain, and mental fortitude coming after him. And I promise to everyone to literally leave it all out there, and he will have to kill me to get me out of that ring. And fuck, man, just
Well said.
Yeah,
No, I'm sold. Take my money. Take my fucking money. It's fantastic.
Jake.
Just know, world. I guess to finish that off, there is not a single thing you can do to ever fucking stop me.